September 2017.
Hello?
Hey Larry? It's JJ. So listen, I know you're not co-writing with me this time for episode 9, but do you think about sometimes including different characters like Ahsoka Tano in the movie?
What are you soaking?
No. I'm saying, should I add Ahsoka Tano to the story for episode 9? You know, the character.
A ton of what? A ton of what?
No, Larry. You see, Ahsoka Tano, she's a character in the animated series like Clone Wars, Rebels, Force of Destiny. They're big animated series. Have you heard of them?
Oh, it's a character. I really only paid attention to the movies.
Okay, so you're not vibing Ahsoka in episode 9. Okay, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, when my son and I wrote Solo a Star Wars story, we wrote about Han Solo and Chewbacca because they were in all the movies, and I love Han Solo. He's my favorite character. I really hope they make Solo 2 happen. I could use a second pool behind my first pool at my house.
Pools are great. You can soak, swim, jump, dive. They're great. They are truly incredible.
Okay, JJ, good luck, and take care now.
Wow, that archive phone call that is exclusive to the Resistance broadcast phone transmission intercepting machine really paid off. Larry Kazan and J.J. Abrams, who knew, guys? But episode 9 is already in the can, so you're not going to be writing any more stuff now, so whatever. Guys, welcome back to the Resistance broadcast, everybody. If you're listening to this, that means you're in the Resistance base with us, and we couldn't be happier to have you. My name is John Hoey. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a great show. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about in the Resistance Report, and of course, your questions later, and we may or may not have a rundown for those who were disappointed last week. But what you will not be disappointed about is the return. He is back, baby. James Baney back with internet. How you doing, buddy?
I don't have a cackle, so it can't be return of the cackle.
No return of the cackle.
I don't know. Being gone a whole week means I missed all the memos. Like for instance, like the red shirt memo, didn't get that one.
I didn't even realize that.
So people listening don't even know what you're talking about, but Lacey and I are wearing reddish shirts.
No, right. I'm wearing a red shirt. It's definitely
red.
red.
There you go. Speaking of that person who just spoke, Lacey, how you doing?
Good. I'm a winner.
Oh, so Lacey won the Who Are You game this past Thursday.
Fair and square.
And usually when people win for the first time, they drag it out and keep talking about it, and that's what's happening right now. There you go.
I got at least 2 more episodes. I'm a winner.
You're a winner. All right, so guys, how you guys doing overall? Feeling good? Star Wars kicking? We're about 6 months away from The Rise of Skywalker. 6 months.
And then no movies for 3 years for all those people who voted in that poll.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be all about Disney Plus for a good 3 years, hopefully. So
yeah, and then you get a solid 2 hours, and then let's do another 2 years, guys.
Another 2
and more
years.
Avatar. All the Avatar. Everyone gets an Avatar.
God.
You get an Avatar, and you get an Avatar.
Well,
Your
imagine
mom gets an Avatar.
I'm glad that Star Wars seems to have solid footing in terms of how they're making their movies. Like Avatar just sounds like a disaster right now, but
and 3 more Avatars.
3 more Avatars.
Could you imagine if
3 more Avatars?
And then another Avatar.
No.
If episode 7 was announced at the same time Avatar 2 was, but it still hadn't come out?
It was.
Yeah, it probably was.
No, I know, but assuming it didn't come out until 2021, right?
Right, but Avatar 2 is supposed to come out the weekend of The Last Jedi, and they pushed it back.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was. Never mind.
Avatar 2 was like the Chinese democracy of movies.
But that came out.
That finally came out. That was like a 15-year project for Axl Rose. But we're not here to talk about Axl Rose. We're here to talk about Star Wars. And let's talk about Star Wars movies that have already come out in this week's poll results. All right, guys, we asked you, you're at home. It's a rainy Saturday. Out of these 4 movies, we only can give you 4 options because Twitter polls have 4 options, so we apologize. Which of these 4 is your go-to pick to put on a rainy Saturday? And one of our closer polls, I would say, the winning vote went to Rogue One. 32% of fans out there voted for Rogue One, followed by The Last Jedi at 27%. 21% went to The Force Awakens, and 20% went to The Little Engine That Could Solo a Star Wars Story. Pretty close results. I was surprised by them, I'll be honest. Sometimes with these polls, when these movies are up against each other, I feel there's a little more going on than meets the eye, and then I'll leave it at that. But what do you guys think about the results of the poll? We had over like 3,500 votes, though, by the way. Thank you, everybody, for participating.
I understand the poll. Like, I think like Rogue One is a great go-to. Because if you watch Force Awakens, then you might feel like you have to watch The Last Jedi after, so the either Solo or Rogue One, I think, would be like go-to because they're quick and like just a one-time, one-shot done kind of thing. But this is a bad habit of mine, just if anybody knows this, but like I tend to buy movies that I'm like iffy about, and I tend to rewatch not favorite movies more than favorite movies. So, like, I'm way more likely to put the prequels on than other movies because I have this, like, maybe there's a better understanding. You know what I mean? I own way more DC movies than Marvel movies, but I like the Marvel movies better. But I rewatch the DC movies more often, if that kind of makes sense, because I'm trying to, like, understand them, and I enjoy them in a different way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm confused.
But yeah, so actually Rogue One is the least likely for me to watch.
Wow.
On
I'm
Saturday.
actually surprised you said that. Okay.
Well, because of my reasoning, though.
Yeah.
Lacey, yours
What'd you
is
vote
The
for?
Force Awakens, obviously.
Wait, what'd you vote for?
I would have voted probably Solo, or maybe Last Jedi, but it's probably Solo.
Fair. Makes
Lacey
sense.
voted for TFA for sure.
Of
For
course
sure.
I did.
Yeah, that one's straightforward.
I voted for Solo.
Solo's getting up there, though. I've been watching that a lot more than Force Awakens
I've been
lately.
watching that more than all of them. It's like anytime I'm like, even if it's just for background, let me toss on a Star Wars movie. I'm like, I don't want anything that's like too complex or too layered. I'm
Solo's
like,
just fun.
give me a adventure and a good time, and I always toss Solo on. So it's climbing the charts.
Speaking
for
of
me, for
Solo, didn't someone use our hashtag recently?
Sure. Oh, I did.
The Make Solo 2 happen one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 170 before 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about
No.
this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah!
So, Lacey, who used our hashtag?
Jonas.
Jonas Suotamo. So, for the people out there who don't know who that is, who is that?
He's the guy in the suit.
In the tuxedo?
No, in Chewbacca.
Oh, Chewbacca.
He
yes,
is
right.
Chewbacca.
Okay.
You
So,
Guys,
You know
I
what?
sent John a bunch of texts and caps and was like, check Twitter.
yeah.
I ran into a guy who was wearing my Make Solo 2 Happen shirt, and someone was like, I'd like to see that, but I don't know if they'll be able to find someone to replace Peter Mayhew.
They didn't know?
The guy.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And then he's like, the guy who plays Chewbacca. And I'm like, what? No,
What?
hold on, let me fill you in.
So you ran into someone as you were wearing your shirt, or you saw someone wearing one?
No. I was wearing mine,
Oh,
and they
okay,
were
I was gonna
like,
say,
oh,
but
I wouldn't
those
mind
things
that happening,
Oh,
but
yeah.
and then
So Jonas Sotamo has now, he's not quote tweeting or retweeting him. He is literally organically creating new tweets using hashtag Make Solo 2 Happen. And he
And
even
memes.
he created a meme of Uncle Sam
did.
saying, and he's not even American. And he's like, Make Solo 2 Happen. I'm like, all right, man. I don't know if he has to pass a citizen's test. He doesn't have to anymore. I would just hand him that meme and say, I'm an American now, okay? If he wants to be. I don't know if he wants to be. But
He says, I'm sorry, you might not have seen this. And he slides it across the table.
and yeah, just like the coaxium in Solo, they just let him through. They're like, all
And they're
right.
just like, punch.
Yeah, punch it. Right. All right, guys. So we had a best comment on this poll, and one of our patrons, actually, It's funny, his handle now is called Used to Be Thrawn, and now he's going by his real name, Nathan Shank. And
Hi, Nathan.
Nathan said, any one of these would be a great choice, but Solo is the one Star Wars movie you can just watch without having to think about what happened in any other film.
That's what I said.
It can be its own thing, and you can just let yourself soak into it and just have fun. So,
soak into it.
Lacey's taking over the dad jokes. She doesn't even realize what has happened, but the inception has occurred, and now the dad jokes are everywhere. So,
Woof.
Wolf is right. Yikes.
Yowza. He got the most likes, so good for you there, Nathan. So thanks for the best comment. But now, guys, it is time to get our hands dirty in the news of Star Wars. And how do we do that? We send it over to Mr. James Bainey. He's back, baby! And it's the Resistance Report. James, what is cooking this week?
It's the Resistance.
Ooh, some interesting stories going on this week for sure. One of them is kind of an exclusive to you, John.
Wow.
Excited?
What?
Well,
Yeah, I got a little
Mr.
bit of
Hooey.
a little inside information. Got a guy. We don't know who the guy is, but we got a guy that's telling us, hooking us up
Or
with
lady,
a little bit
you
of
don't know.
information.
Or a lady.
it was actually a Rhodian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought
It could be
maybe
a
the
guy
article
or a
referred
girl.
to it as a he, but that's okay. But anyway, yeah, a person.
I played the pronoun
Contact.
game right. No one knows what's going on.
Oh, that's right.
That's how you write. That's how you write news reports, baby.
And this person was involved in some of the visual effects and stuff, and they kind of gave us a little bit of hint on how exactly they're quote bringing Carrie back to life for the Rise of Skywalker. Interesting stuff here. I'm actually going to kind of let John take away on a little bit of the details, but it was a good read for sure, just for fun, for fascinating times.
The magic.
Understanding. The magic, how the magic is happening. John, take it away.
Michael the Magic. Yeah, so how this was explained to me, and they even sent me a pretty cool looking detailed mapping of how they do this. So they have Carrie there, and you saw her in that shot from Vanity Fair in that scene or that photo with John Williams conducting, and it's Carrie on some Leia on some jungle planet that we think may be in the beginning of the movie. And if you see the article, it's the main photo I used. But so if you scroll down in the article, you'll see that there's color around Carrie's face, and then there's shading around her body, and then the rest is environment. So what they do is they took her performance from The Force Awakens. We're not sure about The Last Jedi. We know we reported that, but they did not confirm this. And so they took her performance facially and used a body double for being on location, on set, and they pretty much just grafted, or however you want to do it, digitally put the face on the body double and then place them in the environment. And what they said here was, let's see, I'll actually just read the quote. They are combining clips. They will also not be doing the digi-double thing that was used for Leia in Rogue One. This will all be being done in what we call comp. They will be doing some digital work, aging, hair differences, so the face and body match, but not the uncanny valley like Tarkin in Rogue One. And what that means is you can tell it's not a human, usually because of the eyes. So you'll be able to see it really is Carrie's eyes from previous footage. They'll be changing her hair or adding wrinkles, as she looked very different between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, so they want to make her look even different for this movie. And I guess essentially what they were saying here, and I found out from someone on Reddit also, which adds to the story, which is actually really important. They discovered that one of the shots in The Force Awakens is an exact mirror of this shot of Leia from the Vanity Fair, The Rise of Skywalker. And it's Leia in movie saying goodbye to Rey. So they are not only using unused and deleted scenes from Carrie Fisher, they are taking existing in-movie shots and footage of Carrie Fisher from The Force Awakens, possibly The Last Jedi, not sure, and retooling them and making her look different and implementing them into The Rise of Skywalker. So that widens the net big time, because they may have had 3 or 4 scenes of her on the floor that they didn't use, deleted, but now they're also using existing footage and retooling them. So we could have a lot of Leia in this movie. I'm not sure how they're doing the dialogue. I'm still theorizing they may bring in an actress and adding some additional dialogue to fit this story, but that's just speculation on my part. But we know for a fact now they are not only just using that technique, which is her face, body double, and environment, but they're also using existing shots and footage from the previous movies and retooling them and aging her, adding wrinkles and new hair. So they can do a lot with this, and I was thrilled to hear about that.
So let me ask you too, do you think, because John, you're saying that they're using shots from the movie, but do you think there's a possibility they could be using like that shot, but it's like a take 2 or a take 3 with different dialogue, hi Ray versus hello Ray, that's actually in the movie? That way they don't like literally have like a side by side, but they maybe have her something saying a little bit different, like read the line like this, or maybe try this line or something, but it's like it's the same shot. So it looks very similar, but it's not one for one the same take as the movie. You know? Yeah,
if you look in the article, I stacked the photos on top of each other, and to me, that shot is that shot. Her eye is exactly in one place. Her lips are in the same exact spot. Like everything is spot on. So to me, JJ was like, he probably went to them and said, Kathy, we need to bring her back. I know you said she's not coming back. Then he got the approval, probably went to ILM and said, what can we do? And they probably said, well, you're not necessarily limited to this. We got this existing stuff. We can probably make this work and have her change how she looks. And he's probably like, he probably saw a sample and he's like, let's do it. And he probably added that to the story. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Lacey, you got anything to add, or do you want to talk a little bit more about what this means, like composition versus like, digital facial reconstruction?
I mean, it's just kind of mind-boggling that they're doing this, in the sense of the technology that goes into it is kind of crazy, and I can't even fathom it. So I think John did the best he could explaining that, and I couldn't even begin to do that.
Oh, okay.
But it is cool. I'm excited to see it. Everyone keeps saying it's magical, so I don't doubt it. Yeah. Although it looks exactly like John said, this scene where she hugs Rey at the end of TFA, and then she's hugging Rey in this trailer, so it literally might be the same scene.
That's a good point too. Yeah, it looks like she's wearing, her hair looks similar, and she looks like she's
like it looks like outfit. The same exact hug.
Is there a chance you guys think that Leia's only in the beginning of this movie?
Yes.
Yeah. I
think so too. I think it'll be substantial enough where it's done well, but I think it is possible she's only in the beginning of the movie.
They have said it's a proper send-off for the character, so.
We don't think they're going to kill her, right? I don't think so.
I don't think so, but I mean, they might if they got approval from the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other thing too is like our opinions might change the second we see another scene of her somewhere else. Like we might be thinking she's only in the beginning because we've only really seen one shot of her at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, 2 now, and it looks both in the same environment.
It looks like the same exact scene, yeah.
Yeah, one from the trailer with her hugging Rey, and then this one here.
Standing there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to me, and I obviously got a little emotional at the end of the article there because it's kind of like we thought. In our minds, we thought, because of everything that Kathleen Kennedy said, that we were, in The Last Jedi, saying goodbye to Carrie Fisher and goodbye to Leia. And I remember on the podcast, we were like, they're going to kill her off in the crawl, or they're going to do something there. And then we find out she's coming back. So now we're almost like, we grieved, and now we're back. And now we got to embrace it again. And then we got to say goodbye again. So it's kind of... It's like when you think someone had died in a movie or whatever, and then all of a sudden they come back and you're just like, whoa, that just changes everything. And it's almost like the parallel to Palpatine for me. Like the way we saw Palpatine come back in the trailer with the cackle, when they said Carrie's coming back and how they're doing it, it was just like, whoa, I don't know, crazy, absolutely crazy. But
that is crazy.
I am glad they're not doing I didn't like the Rogue One thing they did.
I hated the
Leia.
Rogue One thing. I thought. Both of those characters looked weird to me.
I thought they did Tarkin really well.
Yeah, but it still didn't look right. There's something off about it that you're looking at it.
What if they put sunglasses on him? Because then you hide the eyes. And just Tarkin's just rocking shades.
I know some people say eyes, but I think the biggest criticism I see from people who know what they're talking about generally is the mouth.
Are you saying I don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm talking about visual
the mouth and the skin
visual
too.
experts.
The skin didn't look like normal skin.
James, if I may be fair, the person who gave me this information told me the eyes are always it.
Well, yeah, sure. Like in most cases, but Lacey's right though. The skin is another big send off. But actually, I watched someone and they actually said, "See, the skin is bad in this other example. It's correct on Tarkin. Like Tarkin his skin is like perfect.
Maybe
Perfectly
the
leathery.
It's
the
weird.
Leia one, the skin, because I just remember one of those two. The skin looked off to me, like it didn't look like normal skin.
The Leia thing just looked like
it might
odd.
not be like the movement of the skin might not be, but the actual like how the light hits like
Yes,
his nose and
the
stuff.
texture.
So like the eye, like the light hitting was what he was talking about because it puts like a pink on that. We're getting really detailed with this stuff, but then. But I think they were saying that his face, like muscles, were too tight. It was almost as if he was like 20 years old. But it should be.
It just looked fake
Bouncier
to
or
me,
something.
and I knew it was
okay,
fake. And
Yeah,
I was
you
just
got a little
like,
work done,
"This is
that's all."
fake."
Yeah.
The Empire had extra
He
coins.
goes to that
He went to the place.
Botox.
Yeah.
They have Botox on the Death Star.
Right. I'm just glad that like whatever we see is going to be Carrie Fisher. And I don't know what they're going to do, but like Lacey was just saying, Todd Fisher and many of them said it's magical and they can't believe what they did. And it looks like
Billy said it was magical.
and it looks like she filmed the scenes for this movie. So I'm JJ has a lot riding on that being done well, and I'm being optimistic that it's going to be done well. And what I've heard here in that we did in this report fortifies that optimism.
All right, guys, you guys want to talk about D23?
Yeah. Disney.
So we just got done with Star Wars Celebration, and we're all going to go to D23 now, right?
No.
No. D23 is a big event, and it's where Disney shows off all this stuff. Lacey knows a lot about D23, so we're going to talk about we're going to let her talk about it here in a second. But the big news coming out of this is that Disney has made their presence clear, or Lucasfilm has made their presence clear of what they're going to do. And we're going to get a Mandalorian panel on Friday, the weekend that it's happening in August. And then on Saturday, we're going to get a Rise of Skywalker panel. And these things are likely not going to be streamed, so it's kind of a closed event. We'll probably hear things. I don't know. Lacey, you can tell us a little bit more about this. I'm going to jump over to you. What's the whole deal with D23, and why can't we see it?
Well, D23 is done by the D23 fan club, and it's with Disney, and it's their big expo where they highlight all their stuff from Pixar to Marvel to Star Wars to Disney parks, etc. I went in 2017, so this event runs every other year, which...
Right there.
What is that for?
Right there. Mini metal fingers.
You literally just asked me what I thought about this event, and you're giving me like these stupid fingers.
Yes, that's actually the point of Sweet Brag. You're supposed to set somebody up to brag, and then
I'm not bragging,
call them
though.
out.
I'm giving you information.
It's a joke, but it's fine.
Terrible joke. Moving on. So... The event is in Anaheim. It's going to be the same location that Celebration will be in next year. And they have two most of their panels are in the big, like, what we would call the Celebration stage for Celebration. It's like their big Disney stage. So when I was there in 2017, the three big panels are the Legends, which is a big award from Disney. And they did Mark Hamill last time and a couple other people. This year, I believe it's Robert Downey Jr. Oh, Oprah got it last time.
Carrie Fisher did too, right?
Carrie Fisher did, yeah. I forget, but I know Robert Downey Jr. is this year. But then they have a animation panel, which is like usually the Pixar stuff, the Pixar stuff, and then Disney animation stuff. So like Frozen 2, and then they have the live action panel, which includes the Marvel and Star Wars and those live action things like The Lion King and whatnot. Mary Poppins was shown when I was there. So they probably won't stream anything because they never do. And it's a lot of the people that are there are not only fans, but stakeholders and Disney execs and stuff. So they show stuff that you'll never get to see in at least for a couple years. So when I was there in 2017, they showed the whole beginning part of The Lion King, like the Circle of Life intro with Jon Favreau. So he came out and showed it, and he was so excited, and he started crying, and it was this big thing. And then they had like a Coco musical number and all this stuff. But all they really showed for Disney or for Star Wars was the behind the scenes reel, which they then released anyway. So I would assume that they're going to do that again this year. Is they're going to have the panel maybe show some images and clips from the movie that you won't see publicly, but they'll release a behind the scenes reel.
Nice. All right.
So
Why are you
we
making
actually
that face?
can.
What was that face for?
Who? Me?
You made a face.
It was a what?
Oh, okay.
So we might actually get something then, because I was kind of going into D23 thinking, of course, around that time we always do get that behind the scenes thing.
That's what it's going to be.
know?
I don't think you're going to see them at San Diego if I was to call that right now.
Yeah.
But the behind the scenes thing, to me, they do such a good job with
Yeah,
that.
they're
It's
so cool.
basically a trailer in itself. You're like,
Right.
oh, who's that creature? Who is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't I think a few like writers or trade writers or whatever are all alluding to that nothing's
Swoop
going
Bach
on
writers?
at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, I mean, not only Disney, but like Warner Brothers admitted they weren't going. So I think you're going to see a lot more of these like niche events like D23 pop up in the next couple of years. But yeah, they're not going to show anything publicly crazy after D23. They'll show the behind the scenes reel. They might show Mandalorian footage like they did at Celebration. You might get a final trailer for Mandalorian, but they seal everybody's phones when you walk in the room. They give you this baggie and you stick it in there and you seal it up.
Lacey, the Mandalorian, like, what are they going to show that they're going to be like, we can't show the public? Like, that's coming out 2 months after D23, you know?
Yeah.
So what are they, like, how are they approaching that, you think?
I think she just said it. We're gonna get the trailer, like the big trailer,
Yes.
right?
I think we're going to get a trailer for it, but they'll show scenes from the show or maybe the first episode.
I wonder, do you think they'll double
First
down and
oh.
re-show what they showed at Celebration to that crowd?
No, they'll make something new.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so no, like 7 minutes with Werner Herzog.
I think they might show a full episode.
All right, we
I
gotta
could
get
see
some.
that happening.
We gotta get some other podcast that's brave enough to stream that live for everybody.
Oh, jeez. Not us.
Not us.
Not
Dang.
us.
So I went into
Good
that
kids
story
over here.
thinking we're not gonna get anything out of D23, and that's a little bit of a bummer. And now I'm like, we're gonna get a behind the scenes reel and maybe a trailer for Mandalorian.
I think you're going to get a lot more than you think.
If I walk out,
yeah, that's true.
if I walk out. If I'm on my couch.
If you walk out of there,
If I'm sitting on my couch on my iPad and I get to see a 3-minute BTS reel and that's all I get out of D23, then Merry Christmas, John.
it'll be more like done 23.
Done 23. Why do they call it 23, by
Yeah.
the way? Should I know that?
It's oh man, it's something to do with Walt Disney.
Is that how many
and
kids he
everyone
had?
that's No, people
Was-
are gonna yell at
what-
me. God,
Was
it's gonna
Disney
bother
founded
me.
in 1923?
I don't know.
Someone out there is yelling at it. I don't know. So
I
just
know. I knew this too. I'm blanking right now.
Maybe it's D23.
Lacey,
Maybe it's a new robot.
Lacey, podcast exclusive, so people
new
don't
droid.
yell at us in the comments. Just look it up right now. We're looking it up.
Just
It's
do
D23.
it.
Yeah. 1923, the
Just
year
do
Walt Disney
it.
Company was founded.
Woo! I got it.
What? That's literally what I said.
Oh, James got it.
jerk.
And so D23, formerly D23, the official Disney fan
And-
club, is the official fan club for the Walt Disney Company. Founded in 2009, the organization is known mainly for its biennial exposition event, D23.
So, Lacey, if you are not a part of that, you cannot go to the expo. Is that correct?
No, you can.
Oh, you can? All right.
Yeah, you can be press.
How do
you can go.
How do you become, like, is there a yearly membership? Is that D23?
Yes.
Like you, oh, okay.
There's a yearly membership that sends magazines and stuff out, special events, tickets to premieres and whatnot, and then you pay extra for your ticket to go.
All right.
Can I throw out a fun fact that almost has nothing to do with this? Since the
Sure.
word biannual can be used to be twice a year or every other year, some people use the term biennial to specify every other year so that it's not confusing.
Sweet dog.
Yeah, so, like,
That is a sweet brag.
so is our
No, I
podcast,
said sweet dog.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
Sweet
Dog.
Dog.
It's bi-weekly. But
are we a
there is
bi-weekly
no-
podcast, or are we a bi-weekly podcast? No one knows. Nobody knows. But we do
The
know what
answer may surprise you.
but we do know what D23 stands for. All right, so what else we got on this?
This
Expect a lot of merch.
Oh.
A lot of merchandise that you won't be able to get anywhere.
Lacey, you'll
This
you'll
last
somehow
week-
find a way to get merch, I'm sure.
There
Probably.
was a licensing
I might have
expo.
someone buying me Galaxy's Edge merch like right now.
Brutal.
Sorry, go ahead, James. Sorry, James. I got
Oh,
excited.
you're done.
I got excited.
Talking about merch.
I know.
All right. This last week, there was a licensing expo in Las Vegas, shiny Las Vegas. And they were doing a lot of stuff with Marvel and all that other Fox and Pixar and Disney and all sorts of stuff. And someone there happened to snap a photo of a big mural, what they call these standees, right?
Yeah, standees.
And there is my
it's
new
not a
favorite
standee,
ship.
but okay.
My new favorite ship is Bo Peep and Kylo Ren. Now, but in the thing that has Mickey and then Bo Peep, which is obviously pushing Pixar, and then like Star Wars, and if you look closely, it's not just Kylo Ren, it's the Rise of Skywalker Kylo Ren, and we can get an up close look at that mask and how it's all been glued together with Play-Doh. But I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. Someone else was able to zoom in and kind of clear up the image, and you get a good look at it. John, I'm starting with this one on you. You got any thoughts on this? We've been clear about this, right? You're digging the red thing, right?
I like Kylo Ren in the mask. I always do. But it's funny, this is called a marketing expo, and people are like, leaked photo. I'm like, well, it's marketing. Don't you want people to...
Licensing.
I'm like, don't you want people to see this? So the photo made the rounds, and I was taking a look at it. I'm like, all right, so... The first thing I thought of is like, all right, so they're pushing Kylo Ren in the mask. Like everything we've seen that's official, whether it's the mural, whether it's that leaked poster, whether it's this, Kylo Ren's in.
Well, the Vanity Fair, he's out of the mask.
Right,
Yeah, he is.
but I'm talking about promo marketing type of material. He's in the mask, and they are trying to, set the narrative. This guy's back. In his mask, he's causing trouble. It's dark side Kylo Ren without a doubt, and I like it. I always like this.
Or is it?
I always like the sound of him in his mask. I like the look of the mask. I'm curious how he's putting it back together, but I mean, I'm down with this, and I know we're gonna see him both ways, without the mask and with it. So, I like it, and I know they're gonna sell the mask with the glowing thing, and people are gonna buy it for like $5,000. Not me, but maybe I'll borrow Lacey's.
Ooh, do you think it glows?
Yeah, I bet it
without
does.
a doubt. Yeah.
So, question: what if it's not Kylo Ren in that mask?
I've actually been thinking.
I'm just
a lot
saying.
about
What
this.
if it's not? What if it's not?
The Kylo Ren thing, but the whole theory sometimes of when he's gone. No, but the whole theory.
I've done it.
sometimes
I've got
that-
him to leave.
that
Victory is mine.
people will create a story about a character that says like, what if? Like, we don't know. Like, is General Hux actually going to take off his mask and he's a shark? That's a possibility.
Is he
right?
a shark?
And it's like,
is he a shark?
no, it's not a possibility. Like, even though they could do that, there's nothing that says that that's the case. Like,
But what
you're
if we
just
get to the
making up
movie?
something.
What
to
if we
get to
get?
that.
But what if we get to the movie and it's not him?
Oh my God.
This is what I'm saying though. This falls back on the same thing you guys were talking about last week that I didn't.
we talk
get a
about
chance to
Rey's
do.
relatives
the Han
instead?
and Leia thing, or the Han, is
That store's
Han Rey's
closed.
father thing.
Yeah, James.
Like, you have to make up
Yeah.
a story.
Yep.
Like, oh, they were together, but maybe they broke away. And then this other thing happened. And then he was with this person. And it's like, none of the story says that at all. Like, we know they were together. You would have to be, you're writing your own episode 9 now. It's just so.
I was just asking you a silly question.
Well, yeah, there's no way you believe that. You're just trying to have some fun.
I know.
I'm giving my answer to anybody who thinks that that's
okay.
still possible.
Well, someone's going to be like,
That's fair.
I heard Lacey Gillerin, who is always going viral, so everyone knows her. She
Stop.
said, what if it's
This is
not
not a
Kylo
thing.
Ren in the mask? And I think Lacey is right. And then,
yeah, that's the thing about theories sometimes is you say it and you're like kind of joking, but someone's like, but it could be.
I'm going to tweet that right now just to see what happens.
tweet it out. Be like, Kylo's not in the mask.
Lacey,
Dash
you obviously
Johnny
would
Hoey.
prefer that he didn't wear the mask, but are you digging how they're marketing? I guess I already know the answer to this. You don't
Yeah,
dig how
no.
they're marketing.
I love
Okay.
it. I think it's so
All right.
cool. I think the mask is cool. My thing was that I didn't want them to cover Adam Driver's face. But for the character itself, yeah, it's awesome. He's going to be really cool.
You know who probably
And I
does
can-
want his face covered?
Adam Driver.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever hear,
He
like,
just wants
you've heard
his
him.
ears covered.
You've heard him joke about like how he liked being in the mask because he could be napping and no one would know.
And make faces. I think he said he'd be like making weird faces. My favorite thing is still when he was shooting that scene with Poe in The Force Awakens and he was doing all this mean stuff to Oscar Isaac. And then Oscar Isaac said he'd lean in and be like, hey, Oscar, it's me. It's Adam.
Really? That's pretty funny.
It's me. It's Adam.
He just
It's just
like,
me here.
Like in the mask.
Yeah.
imagine he's just sitting
And then
there.
they'd be like, action. And he'd be like, ah. And then they cut and he'd be like, hey, Oscar, it's me.
So he's not a method actor. That's good. But imagine he's like sitting on a throne or something, and all of a sudden you just see like he just starts dozing off, and they're like, Adam. He's like, ugh.
I've been taking this
General
nap
Hux
for a long
Are you
time.
listening? And he's
Yeah.
like, yes, I'm
Well,
awake.
they also, Adam also said when in TFA, when he's going up that hill to capture Rey on Takodana, like he couldn't see, and that's why how he was so angry because he kept tripping.
Mm-hmm.
So he was getting annoyed because he couldn't see anything, and he was like, him stomping was him actually angry.
That's it doesn't get more Star Wars than that though. You know,
I don't know.
you think about the
Insane.
stormtroopers and like
He's like, oh.
A New Hope, just like sliding on the floor because they had no grip.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, right. I mean, I like that the mask is coming back. Honestly, I don't know if he's gonna wear it at
I
the
do
beginning
too.
or the end or what.
He's gonna
but
be redeemed so hard.
He's going to put it on in front of a mirror and say, look how old I've become.
yeah,
I have wrinkles now.
JJ's like, let me call back that line. Oh, nailed it,
Nailed it.
nailed it. Larry calls him. He's like,
It's like-
JJ, you shouldn't use that line.
Bookend.
Yeah, bookend it.
All right, guys, that's it for the Resistance Report. Let's move on to this week's actual existent Scoundrels Rundown.
Oh my goodness. It's happening.
I forget what that guy's name is. Who likes
Scotty's
the?
happy.
What's that? Yeah, who's that guy? What's his name?
Scotty,
Is that his name? I'm just kidding. I know who
don't
you
be
are.
mean.
He gets more shout outs than anybody on our podcast because he's the only person who likes the Scoundrels Rundown. So Scotty found his
is that?
niche. The Scoundrels Rundown is the Boba Fett of our podcast. He's like, I gotta like that because no one else does. All right, guys. So on the count of 4,
4. Okay.
we're gonna punch it. Ready?
Yep.
Scotty, have you
I don't know if
recovered?
I am.
Has Scotty recovered? I think he has. He's back. 1, 2, 3. Punch it!
Punch it. You said 4 and you went on 3.
I said on 4.
Oh. Okay.
Counting's hard for
All right.
Lacey Gillerin, folks. Confirmed. All right, guys, let's run this stuff down. We have 2 reviews at StarWarsNewsNet.com. That is our official website. And Yelena Beeden reviewed Vader Dark Visions number 4. And it says, a rebel takes flight in Marvel's Vader Dark Visions number 4. So basically what this issue is imagine being in an X-Wing and going one-on-one in a dogfight with Darth Vader in his TIE fighter, and he's trying to shoot you down. It kind of puts you in that position, kind of like the X-Wing fighters were in A New Hope. So I know this Dark Visions series has been a little controversial at times for some people. To me, not so much, because Vader be Vader. But imagine being in an X-Wing and have Darth Vader locked in on you and about to blow you up. That's so. If they're able to emote that in this issue, which it sounds like via Yelena's review that it kind of puts you there, I think that's kind of cool in a way to add to canon without being too crazy with it. So I dig that. And we also have another review about Darth Vader's son. His name is Luke. And so he reviewed the...
they let that guy have a kid?
Ages... can you believe it? 2 kids. How about that? Age of Rebellion, the Luke Skywalker edition of the Age of Rebellion series. And what happens here is kind of interesting because you have Darth Sidious reaching into Luke's mind, and this takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So Darth Sidious, Palpatine, reaching inside Luke's mind from across the galaxy via the Force, observing Luke, not really interfering with him, but observing him and testing his fears and his anxieties and seeing if there's a potential for him to turn to the dark side, and peppering thoughts into his mind eventually, but Luke ultimately rejects him. And that takes us to, obviously, when they encounter each other in Return of the Jedi, and he tries to turn him once more. So that is an interesting thing to me, because maybe that plays into the type of thing we get into with The Rise of Skywalker. As we know in the novelization of The Force Awakens, there's a voice that reached Rey, and I know Lacey had theorized that could be Palpatine now, and I kind of agree with that. So Kyle said keep an eye on this issue and stuff like that. That could play a role down the line. But there's your reviews, of course, from StarWarsNewsNet.com. We have the best review team in Star Wars fandom, in my opinion, and that is it.
Kyle did that review. You didn't say Kyle.
I did say Kyle.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I did, so you just
Hi,
ruined
Kyle.
it. You just ruined everything.
Sorry. Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. All right, so that is it for the Scoundrels Rundown. Yeah! We're going to send it over to Lacey Gillerin, who is going to go through your questions and ask the Resistance. So, Chewie, my friend, and Kyle. Hi, Kyle, who wrote that review, Kyle. Get us out of here.
The snapping noise.
Yeah,
it's
taken over.
It's gotta go. Guys,
You gotta go.
It's time for Ask the Resistance.
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
So you guys have some Star Wars questions. Hopefully we have some pretty good Star Wars answers. We've got 4 questions this week. First question coming from Sean Fabry at Safari Ben. What?
Obviously Kylo Ren is a Mac user.
All right. Or you could just be like Jungle Cruise Poe, Safari Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
It could also be about Kenobi, who was the real Ben.
Oh, it could be. Denied. His question is, do you think we'll see the First Order defeated in some kind of big battle, or will the climax of the movie be more personal and about the characters' struggles and leaving the fate of the First Order ambiguous for future movies? So ladies first, yes, I think you're going to see the First Order defeated in some kind of big battle. This is the last one. It's tying up all the sagas, so I'm assuming that that's going to be the end of the First Order. But at the same time, I do think you're going to see some character struggles and character development amongst Poe and Finn and Rey and, of course, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. So yeah, I think this is it, though. I don't think they'll probably leave some things open in case they do an episode 10, but I think the First Order is kind of going to end with this one. What do you guys think?
They ruled the whole galaxy for 1 whole year. And Snoke's like, I ruled the galaxy for 1 whole couple of days.
Just a couple of days.
45 minutes. Yeah, I could see if they do bring back an episode 10, I could see a Third Order or a Second Order, kind of like how the Nazis did it.
Second Order. Yeah. All right, next is Jacob Evans at Valorius80, and he asks, would you guys like to see a book about Darth Vader told in the style of the Legends of Luke Skywalker book? James, you're our resident book guy. What do you think?
Did you read
so
that
the first
book?
thing I thought, yeah, I did. The thing about this was I was like, well, they kind of already have it. You were talking about it earlier in the rundown.
Mm-hmm.
Is like
Right.
There's these scary stories, dark visions comics that are kind of like that, except for they actually happened. Like they're part of canon. So my thing with the book, I hated the beginning of it because I didn't understand it. Even knowing what the book was supposed to be, The first story, I think, just like totally was making me angry. And I did not like it at all. Then as the book continued, I started to understand a little bit more like, okay, it's supposed to be wrong on purpose. That's the point of this. But ultimately, I'm just like, just tell me a real story. Like, I don't like having to guess. I don't like when somebody says, you know that thing where they're like, it's real, it's fake, we made it up. It's like that that meme that's going around. But that show is called Fact or Fiction. They would tell you one story, and then they tell you another story, and one of the stories was true, and they tell you at the end. But the problem is this book doesn't tell you. It just is like, I don't know, maybe. And I was like, I'm just not feeling that.
Were you annoyed?
It allows them to be a little more fun with the characters, but if it happened, I want to know that it happened.
James, were you annoyed at the part where it's Luke listening to them tell the story, and he's almost like...
Yes.
I was a little bit too. I thought that was weird.
I couldn't stand that. Like, I know, I feel like it was written to be funny. They're like, oh, it was on the planet Tatooine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not it. Like, this is making me angry. And it's supposed to be like, oh, yeah, that's like, he got it kind of right. And he's really confident, but he's clearly wrong. And that's what's funny about it.
How do you
like,
purposefully?
It's not funny. It's not my humor.
How do you purposefully, like, mistell a story? It's like, oh, just change the continent. We're going to Borisant. What?
Yeah. Borisant.
Borfil.
All right.
The whole city is a bed.
Oh, jeez. Our next question comes from Darth Hurricane at Darth Hurricane.
Way to get your handle, DH.
Woo.
And they ask, have there been any scheduled reshoots for The Rise of Skywalker? I don't recall hearing of any being done. Just need to prepare myself for the Rogue One sky is falling craziness that will flood the internet when/if they happen. John, as the spoiler leak inside guy, have you heard of any reshoots?
I'm definitely not a spoiler guy.
Okay, not spoiler. You hate spoilers. I shouldn't have said that. But like as the inside guy.
So I had heard a long time ago that they were going to be wrapping filming around early February, and there were scheduled reshoots for at least one big set at Pinewood through April. So that has already passed. Other than that, I'm not sure. Probably not location-based stuff, but maybe studio-based stuff. But I think they may be done by now.
It sounds like they're done. I feel like JJ keeps saying they're done.
Well, think about this. So John Williams already started writing the score, and I believe he's going to start tracking it soon. That means they got to have a solid first cut of this movie done. He said he saw a first cut of the movie, so the framework is already there. I can't see them doing reshoots and being like, we got to add this chunk into the movie now or something like that. Right. Or this take, for some reason now, we don't like this take and redo it. That doesn't make sense to me. And it looks like a lot of the other actors have already moved on to doing a lot of other stuff in addition to Adam Driver already doing his play and whatnot. But I think they went through April, and I think they're done. And I don't think there is going to be drama. I think there wasn't a lot of drama with reshoots for The Force Awakens, so I don't see why there would be any for Episode 9. And honestly, there wasn't any for Rian Johnson's movie either. So it was actually just the two standalones that had the issues. And we know we could beat that dead horse over and over again. But I do have to say this, though. I find it so weird that everyone harps on Solo stuff when Rogue One was gutted. And it
really was
rewritten, and they shot completely different endings and all this stuff, and people just like, Gareth Edwards.
It goes back to it made a ton of money.
Gareth Edwards is the king. And it's like, he's only the king because he didn't say screw you like Lord Miller did. He just played ball, and now he's sitting in a pool float somewhere collecting his money. But anyway, I think they're done. I think it's smooth. I think it's smooth sailing. I think we're good to go. 6 months away, and we are on our way to see the final movie. So, Darth Hurricane, worry not, because JJ has it covered.
Quit showing that.
So.
Yeah, stop. Okay, and last but not least is Sam Lalo at SamLalo170. And they asked, hey guys, which prequel character do you, and they had that in caps, want to make an appearance in The Rise of Skywalker? So we're all going to answer this quickly. James, prequel guy, prequel rewatch guy.
Well, they're all dead. Or would be dead.
I'm assuming just who would you want to see?
Yeah, so Qui-Gon, I guess, because that kind of makes sense, the Force power of it.
Mm-hmm. John?
Well, she was deleted from episode 3, but I'm breaking the rules because that's what I do. So I'm going to say Monimus Mothmonimus.
That's a good one.
Nice.
That's her official
I'm
name.
Say
actually.
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Force Ghost
Yes.
style.
I didn't
Yes.
think of Mon Mothma, so that's my real answer.
Lacey, do you
She's
think
probably dead, right? You gotta think she's dead.
if they
right?
bring Kenobi back, they have to do some kind of... They have to make him look like Alec Guinness, or I'm going to be really annoyed.
Yeah, he'd have to look older.
Yeah. Because like if Ewan McGregor shows up to Luke, he's going to be like, who the hell are you?
I mean, Ewan looks older now, if that helps at all.
Not really.
You
though.
mean like gray hair, though?
No, like 65-year-old, bunch of mumbo jumbo Alec Guinness.
So here it is.
Alright.
They're panning as they back away. You start to see more characters. So you see Anakin, you
Yep.
see Yoda,
Yep.
and then you see Anakin,
Yep.
and then you see Luke, and then you see Ewan McGregor, and the other three like turn and look at him, and then he turns and looks at them, and then he turns into Alex Guinness, and they all go, "Ah!"
Oh, no, I
He
hate it.
transforms.
I hate
Yeah.
it.
Did you just say Alex Guinness, by the way? Yikes.
I said that? No, I didn't say that.
No, he just said it quickly, so it sounded like that.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll
He
give you a
definitely
pass.
said
I
Alec
wouldn't say
Guinness.
Alex.
I'll give you a
Guinness.
pass. If you guys think he said
I noticed
Alex,
none of us
comment.
said Anakin.
Yeah, I don't want to see Anakin.
I know.
Do you?
Just nope.
I wouldn't mind seeing Anakin.
I think we are though, and I'm gonna be really happy about it. But I still don't when it happens, I'll be happy, but I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. It also like fits because George fixed it, if you will. Whatever.
They should give him like a monologue to say to be like, look, I can act.
Oh, poor Hayden. He's such a nice guy. Guys,
Didn't
thank
you see
so
Little
much.
Italy? I got
Oh
this.
God.
He is really bad in Little Italy, but he's really hot. in
Lacey,
Little Italy, so forgive
I
him.
need to clarify. I'm not hating on him, okay? I like the guy.
You're really reaching now. You're like really going for it.
Crushed it.
Just reaching.
Crushed it.
Calm down. Guys, thank you so much for your questions. If you want to be on the show, follow us on Twitter at RBATSWNN and use the hashtag AskTheResistance, which is the right hashtag to use for this segment, not the other one.
Resistance transmission.
I was so confident with it, too. That's what made it worse. Yeah, send your Star Wars questions, and you could be on the show. We could talk about your handle, and it would be great. Yeah, back to you, John.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching, being a part of the Resistance. I know a lot of new people every week have joined us, so thank you so much. Also, in terms of people joining us, I want to give a big shout out to our Patreon generals. All of you here, we have Carmelo, Brian Shalito, Don Boring, Andrew Staley, Len Brown, Neil Lowry, Jeremy Myers, and Val Trichkoff. Woo! That list is getting long. You guys are the best, and all of our patrons, again, I say this over and over every week. I feel like we have new people joining the Resistance over there. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/resistancebroadcast. If you like what we do on the podcast, we do a lot of extra stuff. We have new content going up pretty much every day over on that page, so you can join the page at the starting level at $2 a month. Check it out and become part of the Resistance. We appreciate all of your support. Make sure you guys head to StarWarsNewsNet.com. That is our website for your latest news, reviews, as you heard earlier, editorials, information, and more. And, of course, subscribe to us, the podcast, on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, and, of course, if you're watching us on YouTube. You guys can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and writing and editing at StarWarsNewsNet.com. And the man who is back in business, James Bainey, where can people reach you now that you have the internet?
You can find me on the Resistance Broadcast YouTube show.
Ah, that sounds good.
And also on Twitter and Instagram at Ren'S.
At where?
It says down at the bottom.
Oh, there it is. Myra Trunks. Lacey Gillerin.
Don't do it.
What about you?
People can find me on Twitter at Lacey Gillerin, where I talk about Star Wars and share fun stuff.
Very good, guys. All right, again, thank you guys so much for stopping by, joining us here in the Resistance base. Do us a favor, because I have a minute I can kill here.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, do all that stuff. But do us a bigger favor. We grow because of you guys, so share our podcast with anyone you know that likes Star Wars. A lot of people, believe it or not, you are locked in, but a lot of people don't even know that Star Wars podcasts exist, let alone ours.
They don't know I'm a winner.
So I don't know what you just said.
They don't know I'm a winner.
No one does.
Yes, they do.
So share our podcast.
So what you're saying is smash that share button.
Smash the share button and share everything with all of your fellow Star Wars fans, because together we are going to grow the Resistance, and we thank you so much. So hang tight, enjoy your weeks, and we're going to be back on Thursday where we are talking about Sheevy babes and how they may, speculation-wise, we'll put our tinfoil hats on. Ooh, I said it.
It's big tinfoil.
Big tinfoil hat. How we think we're gonna bring they're gonna bring Sheevy babes back in episode 9. So enjoy your weeks, and we'll see you then right here on the Resistance broadcast. See you around, kids.